The hardest thing in jiu-jitsu is fighting an extremely aggressive opponent. You often learn different attacks, but when your opponent starts attacking you first, it can be easy to get stuck in a defensive cycle that you can't get out of. The number one reason this happens to you is because you lose the grip fight. If you tie your opponent up in a position that you know better than they do, you are in control of the fight. No matter how much better they are in other positions, they're stuck in the position that you know best. But most people have a misunderstanding of how grip fighting actually works. They imagine they will pick their favorite position and force it on their opponent. But this isn't exactly how it works. You have to first build off of the grips they make available to you, rather than chasing the grips you want, since you cannot always control how your opponent is going to approach you. They can approach in many different ways: right leg lead, left leg lead, postured, bent over with their arms back, and more. So you first must learn to adapt to their body positioning for your entry grips, then adapt and transition from there. This video, I show a foolproof system on how I use an impenetrable defensive barrier that you can then use to effortlessly make the first control and transition into your first attacks and set up the guards of your choice.
So the first thing when you're establishing a guard, you have to get grips to be able to attack them. You can't attack them with no grips, right? So a lot of people, they try to get to the grip they really like. Maybe they have a favorite guard, like close guard or something, and they want to get there. But sometimes you can't always get to the guards you want. So in my opinion, it's easier to build off of the grips they're giving you. First rule is defense first. So if I'm back here, nothing bad can happen to me if I'm this far away, right? For her to ever pass my guard, she's got to get around my legs and all the way into side control and hold 3 seconds, right? So if I'm here and she gets closer to me, I can just keep backing up like this, right? I just keep the distance. What I'm going to make first grip on is going to be dependent on what they put forward. So if I like to grab this sleeve, but let's say she's leading with her left leg and has that hand back, and I'm chasing this, now she's going to always make the first grip because I'm chasing something that's far away. So I want to build off of the grip that's closest to me. We're going to start by building off of the sleeve first. And the reason we focus on building off the sleeve first, for them to do literally anything to you, they have to use their hand, okay? They can't do anything to you if they don't touch you. Very simple concept. So she's going to be in a right leg lead. The general rule of thumb we're going to do is whatever side they're leading with, I want the same side hand leading, right? So if her right leg is forward, I'm going to put my right hand on the floor like this. If she switches to a left leg lead, I'll switch, because usually whatever side leg is forward is going to be the hand that's forward. If her left leg is forward, this is going to be the hand that's forward because it's closest, okay? So if she's here, I'm going to try to build off this. If she switches to the other side, you see, I'm going to do this. And if she backs away, I'll follow her. She switches to the other hand lead, I'll follow here. So right now we won't even work on the guard pull. I just want you guys to track that. So always keep them almost like boxing. You're keeping at the edge of the jab. You see, nothing bad can happen when I'm that far away. They can't even jump triangle. They need to have a grip. Just to make it easy and obvious on your opponent, of course, they could do like this, right? But they're going to be like this here. So if she backs up, you see, I'm just kind of keeping this forward. She switches side, we're like this, right? Now, realistically, she's tracking me. So if I switch, she switches, and she backs up. Keep backing up, I back away. You guys see how that works? So a couple extra points on the gripping. A lot of people are kind of content being right here, but I want to be much further back. If they can ever grab your collar, you're too close, because then they can pull you in, and they control my ability to fall back. Couple small things that make a big difference here. One is my posture. This looks fine, but I want this. You see how I kind of like extend my like upper thoracic and I kind of pull my chin back. It's like I'm here. I don't know exactly why, but when I fall back, it feels so different. If I'm here, the lapel is closer, but even when I fall back, I kind of like, they get in on you, right? I feel the distance. But when I'm here and I fall back, it's like I'm so far away because my neck and my head is far away, right? So you get away from them really quick. The other thing is like, like here I could grab her like her armpit or tricep, right? I want to be so far back that it's barely like this. So if she gets close here, you see, that's the first thing. There's no way that she can really get close to me here. A big idea here too is a lot of people, they focus on grabbing the cuff of the sleeve like this, just to show you guys, like this, and that's okay, but sometimes that's too hard to get. So doing this kind of low like this can be really quick. You see, if I try to fast grab that, it can be tricky. But this, I can even get the elbow. So if she's like this, right? I catch this. Once I catch this, and that's actually a really hard grip to get rid of, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep my posture up. I lift both my feet, and I'm gonna fall back to a foot on the hip, like this. There's a big concept here which is if I have this sleeve and my leg is kind of past the body or on their hip, they can never pass this side, right? Because she has to push this leg down to pass that way. So it's really difficult, right? And if I put this foot in the bicep like this, now she can't go that way either. She could start walking that way. You see, start going the other way, right? And then this easily becomes something like collar, sleeve, and I can start attacking from here. So that's a really good first start. Of course, sometimes they're gonna keep their sleeve away. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But a lot of people, they get way too complacent when they're grip fighting, just standing here and see if she, for example, grabbed the lapel and she keeps it. Now, even if she doesn't do anything, if she just keeps this tight, when I try to fall back, I can't extend away. I'm trapped, right? So you don't want to let them get in tight on that. So you have to be grip fighting. You cannot be complacent right here. With the foot on the hip, she can't pass that way. Usually they're going to look to kill this leg. So if they don't have a grip on it, they can't really do anything. Eventually they're going to have to deal with it. But they're often going to grab it. If they grab the pants, it's very easy to put the foot in the bicep. I come up, grab the collar. I like to keep this elbow high because it's harder for her to grab anything. But sometimes they're going to grab your ankle like this, right? And now I can't go back to the bicep. So what you do there is focus on getting the foot to the wrist first. So see, she's grabbing the ankle. I can't go up like this, right? And then there's a threat of a pass on that side. So I loop my foot to the wrist. That kills that. Now I go to the bicep, grab the collar, and now I can start messing with their base easily and start attacking. That's how jiu-jitsu works. It's a lot of these super little details like that just seem ridiculous, but that's what makes things work and not work. If you master this skill set, you control the pace of the match. The most common experience people have when they play guard is maybe they like close guard or they like something else, and they're kind of like, I don't know what's going on here. They grab and then just pull them in and hope for the best and then build off of that. But now if you don't know what you're doing, she traps this leg halfway through, and now you're trying to play half guard. It gets a mess, right? So if you master being able to build off first grip, you always control the pace of the fight and where it starts. So now she's hinged over at the hip, kind of like in the kind of hands forward a little bit. Yeah, like this. But every time I go for a sleeve, she pulls the hand. I just can't get that. So in this case, I like to go for the collar. Now there's a couple of different ways you could use the collar. So let's say she's right leg lead, right? The hand, I feel like I can't get the sleeve. I can switch to the other side now, and I'm gonna go cross collar. Okay, we could do either one, but so normally this right hand forward, right leg forward, I would go with this hand. But if I feel like that's too hard, I'll switch and go to the cross collar. Now from here, if they ever try to break this grip, which is pretty common, she's gonna give me the sleeve. You see that? So I go here, she goes to break. I can use that to get control of the sleeve and go right back to the previous. But let's say she doesn't break. I'm gonna grab the collar. A couple things you could do here. One is I could collar drag. So I'm just gonna clip her foot. I turn my hip out and I hit here, and I can come up on a single leg or just slam them into the mat depending on what they do. Another easy one you can do here when you get the collar is I shoot my shin to her ribs and I just pull in like this to de la riva. I grab the ankle, I have the shin, and now I can start off balancing and making a connection here. It depends on your knowledge. Maybe you don't know what to do here yet, that's fine, but that's usually what I do. Another option is if I didn't want to switch side, I could just grab the collar, I lift my feet up, and I fall directly back like this. From here, usually they'll try to grab one of your legs or something, and I'll try to break a grip and then go back to the previous system. But basic idea, we're here, I want the sleeves, now she's being difficult, switch to the collar. Collar drag, jump to de la riva, and start building there. More important than the technique is understanding the idea of it, right? Understand, okay, I have to build off the first grip. If I'm far away, they can't do anything to me. Keep distance. Try to grab a sleeve. They're not using the sleeve. They're not that aggressive, so you have more time. If you can't get the sleeve, go for the collar. You have collar drag, jump to de la riva. If they break the collar grip, grab the sleeve, go back to the previous one. Let's look at the collar drag a little bit. So I'm gonna catch the collar, try to avoid getting the hair if they have long hair, or do, if you're in tournament, it might be bad for them. So what I like to do, see I'm on my left side hip here. We can talk a little bit later about being centered. You can play like this, it's a different style. But right now we're focusing, I think in the beginning, it's easiest to learn this side or this side, right? So like I got my left hand on the floor, I catch the collar. What I wanna do is I just wanna either clip the foot if they're a little bit more narrow. If that leg's back a little bit more, then I tend to clip more near the knee. But I'm not really kicking that hard, I'm more just blocking. It's almost like a judo foot sweep kind of deal, right? And all I'm gonna do is I shift my hip from my left side to the right side. That creates a tremendous amount of force. And then what I do is I clip the knee or the foot, right? And I just pop there. Now when this hits, either A, I can turn it into a single leg. Depending on how they land, sometimes I can go directly to hooking the back. And notice what I do here is when I hook here, I wanna latch my chest onto the back. A little detail that I do here a lot that helps is I kind of like, I reach with my neck or my chin to to lock on the back. Because once my chest is on the back, as I've talked about many times with you guys, right? Once I get on here, as long as I never lose this, I always have the back. So even if she tries to roll through to her left side, you see, I'm following all the way through really naturally. So that's one of those little cues. If you can lock on it, you can solve so much stuff for yourself. If that foot's a little bit closer, like this, I'll clip more at the foot, right? So again, I'd be here, pop, like that. If I feel like the back is too far, I just hook the leg for like a single leg, like this, right? And I just push down on this collar, and I can wrestle up for the single leg to get the takedown. They may even expose the back there. Looking one more time at the De La Riva pull. So what I want when I do the De La Riva pull is I want my shin to go along the ribs. And I want this left leg to go on the outside. So all I really do is I just clear this angle and I fall back. This shin is so important because if she tries to drive her weight into me, my shin blocks the weight and allows me to distribute them out. And I can use this to start setting up De La Riva. Makes it easy to go for bolos and things like that. One big thing when you pull, don't leave your feet on the floor. A lot of people do this. They fall back and then they try to lift their feet, but now they can jump around you. Lift the feet first. Right, so I'm here, I catch, feet up first. Now it's much harder to push down when she comes in because there's too much momentum. And look, I'm out here, boom, can go over there. Start setting up all sorts of stuff. She's gonna be like this, she has her hands back, but she's so postured tall that I can't even get the initial collar grip. She breaks it so quick, and I can't get the sleeve because she's too tall. Okay, so you can't even get enough of a grip to get the second grip. When this happens, I'm gonna go towards the near side leg. You can do this with either hand. So let's say she's like this. I'll catch the knee material like this. Same thing, I'm gonna lift my feet first and I fall back. And it gives me a De La Riva, right? So let's say she's here, she's breaking the grip, she's backing up a bunch, keep backing up. See, I catch there. I'm so far away, it's hard for her to do anything. I lift my legs, fall, boom, De La Riva, right? She's here, see, I go for the sleeve, she keeps that away, I go collar, she tries to break that, okay, can't get that, boom, boom. See, boom, and now I'm starting to build. This is so annoying for the top player because they want to attack you, but you're always backing away. They can't even get close to you. And every time they try to get close to you, you're just like a fly, just like poking them with a little simple grip that they can't do anything about. In my opinion, for the top person to pass well, they actually have to just concede giving you some grip because it's too much more easy for the bottom player to just get one grip. Of course, for some of this, you have, like maybe you guys are newer, you don't know De La Riva that well, you don't know collar sleeve that well, but at least you can understand the structure of building your grip from a distance, right? If you like to play something like close guard, that comes later. You can't just close guard, right? So maybe I like close guard, maybe I get the sleeve first, I fall back here, she grabs my leg, I get double sleeve, and then now from double sleeve, I set up close guard or something like that. So if you like to play reverse De La Riva, you for sure could bend the knee and set the hook, and then now I can start playing through for sure like that. For me personally, I prefer to just play more with my legs out, but if you feel confident with reverse De La Riva and you want to mix it in, you absolutely could. Sometimes you're going to be on your back and you need a grip fight from your back too, right? So ideally, I always prefer to be grip fighting sitting up if I can, because I can control the distance much better, right? And I'm quick, my arms are active, engaging. If I'm on my back, it's a bit more risky because I can't control, they get to kind of dictate when the first contact is. Okay, but that being said, some people are like, I always play my guard sitting up. You don't get to choose that. If she's really far away from me, yeah, maybe I can sit up. But if she's really close and she's right here, I can't, if I just go, I'm gonna sit up, I expose way too much trying to sit up. There's way too much possibility of some sort of punishment, right? So if they're close to me, I have to know how to grip fight off my back. First rule of thumb is for them to do anything, they have to use their hands. So if I'm like this and she doesn't have a grip, I'm fine. So she's got to make a grip. So I'm going to use my hands to deflect and I keep my legs really annoying like this, right? That's really, really hard. You can even grab your own legs to assist. If they try to grab a pant leg, right, I can break it really quick and we go back to this. Or they grab a pant leg, maybe I just loop over, that kills her grip, now I can try to grab, right? But I'm really annoying with the legs like this. If she grabs the lapel, I might just lasso and go like this or go foot on hip. Now, let's say I'm here and then she backs up a bunch and I can't grip fight. Then I'll sit up and immediately scoot away. That's an important concept to understand, right? Because if they're too close and you only have the ability to grip fight sitting up, then you're gonna sit up and just give them too much opportunity. So when they're hovering over you and you're close, keep the feet moving, be disruptive with the grips. You'll usually be able to get a grip because when they're close, they're giving something, right? If I can't get the hands, then I might be able to sit up, she's back. Let's stand closer. Yeah, like if I can't get the hands, I can grab the ankle, right? But keep your hands back. Yeah, so if I can't, see, I'll grab the ankle and go here, right? If she's back a little bit and the hands are being a bit passive, I can push the leg a little, and I scoot away fast. Because usually they're gonna try to close the distance, right? So if she's in that mid zone, right, and I kind of go, okay, I sit up here and I go, okay, now I'm gonna grip fight here. Even if I just do this, she's ready to make the first cut and start doing stuff. So whenever I sit up, I'm like moving, and then I'm like really quick, I back up and I reset. This is critical because if you let the person get ahead and start setting a bad position, it gets way worse. That being said, of course, it's really important to be able to defend with no grips, like not just be on your back and defend. And we work on that a lot at this gym as well, just guard retention. So you don't want to be too dependent on grip fighting, but a lot of people have no grip fighting understanding at all. So I just wanted to do at least one class on it so you guys have the idea.